I got to follow up. What's the biggest thing Coach McElwain has brought so far to kind of get you where you want to go?
The main message that he's emphasizing so far is to do what's right. That's all he's focused on for us, off the field, on the field, just do what's right.
Hey Vernon, Casting Hill, Gator Country. You've always sort of taken that leadership role just by the nature of your position, but we've seen in the past spring and stuff, you're even like making guys get down and do push-ups in practice and stuff. How did that come about? Is that something Coach Collins wanted, or was that just your own discipline to handle?
It's actually something I learned, I saw when I was younger, when my dad coached at Miami. The players would drop kicks, and I seen Henry and Sean Taylor, they were making them push-ups. So I was like, well, I figured I'd try to do it they were doing. So you drop kicks, you do push-ups. Now.
I think one day I saw you make Marcus May do it. Did they believe you the first time you said, like, get down and go for it?
The first time I did it was that picture that I actually put on Instagram. And Brian kind of looked at me, he's like, you for real? I was like, yeah, for real. And, it wasn't, he understood where I was coming from with it. I wasn't trying to be a leader, like a leader, that sort of sense. But he understood, and it's fun. I've done my fair share of push-ups.
Just don't drop a pick.
Right.
I can follow up on that some a little bit on what he said too. With Coach Collins, I know that he hands out points every day after practice. There's been kind of some miscommunication as to what they stood for and what they were. Can you clear that up for us?
Honestly, I'm kind of confused about what they really stand for. You get juice points, which is like if you make a big play and you celebrate with your teammates, and however good the celebration is, how many points you get. There's the apex predator, which is a guy who's been running around all practice making plays, and the guy that had the motive that day. And there's one more that he does. I don't know, I can't think of it right now.
Is there like a swag points?
Yeah, you have swag points. Swag points. I say if you after you make a play, what's your swag looking like, But yeah.
Lawrence is sort of at 1842. What has life been like since Jim McElwain arrived in Gainesville?
It's been fun. Nothing too crazy. He hasn't put too much on us yet. He's kind of letting us get used to his ways, and he's taking it day by day.
Hey, Vernon, last year, even though the offense kind of struggled, the defense has been strong. But Coach Muschamp, I know, was a big part of that as well. With him being gone, how does that maybe affect the defense with all the things that you guys got off of him?
All the guys, here now probably got recruited by Muschamp, so, we miss him. But, there's more to it than that, We gotta give with Coach Collins what he has going on and give with this program, and that's what we're planning on doing. And, you can't be thinking about all that when you're trying to win games.
Scheme-wise, are there differences that you're adjusting to?
Maybe a few. Nothing that he's installed right now. Maybe when the season starts, that's probably when I'm assuming most of the changes will come in how he plays certain teams. But as of right now, we're just installing basic defenses, so nothing too out of the ordinary.
Hi, Sean McMahon's Bleacher Report. What's the one-on-one matchup you're most looking forward to this season?
The Quantrell in week 4. Without a doubt.
Why?
Just because I got after him in the non-number game in 2013. I had a pretty good game against him, and I know he knows. And he's actually one of my good friends, so I'm ready to get after him.
Hey, Mark, Chris Price, WBRC Sports 2 in Baton Rouge. You had your pick of teams coming out of high school. You could play for your dad if you wanted to. Just maybe the disappointment of not being able to play for Coach Muschamp anymore. I know there's a big reason why you decided to go to Florida.
Right. I was definitely disappointed, but I understand that's how coaching works. Growing up into a football family, my dad being a coach, he's been fired, and I didn't like it when I was young, and I still didn't like it now. But you get used to it, and you have to move on, and it's as simple as it is.
How do you think he'll do at Auburn?
He'll do fine, which is excellent. I'm excited. I honestly thought he was going to go to the NFL. I'm excited to see him in the NFL.
What's your opinion on Pharaoh Cooper? Was he a pretty tough guy to cover last year, and what do you think he'll do this year?
Oh yeah, he's definitely one of the best. I didn't see him a lot last year. There was a few times we lined up, head up against each other, and he's a great player. He made many plays against us, and I'm excited to see what he does this year.
Noticeable difference with the team size in the offseason. What's different about maybe the strength and conditioning program and what you guys are doing off the field in preparation for this fall?
We're doing a lot more flexibility stuff. You know, our spring program is a little bit different. You know, more lifting stuff, but you know, guys, you know, we're kind of tired of losing. You know, we're kind of tired of being what happened in Florida. You know, guys are tired of hearing that, and you know, we're getting after it. You know, we're trying to be as ready as we can be.
Vernon, on top of that, do you feel like the East Division is maybe as wide open as it's been since you've been in Florida?
I mean, I think so. I mean, I think it's wide open every year. You know.
With you and LaQuan being friends, who talks the best trash in the field when you guys are going up against each other?
I think LaQuan talks the most trash. I don't, you know, talking trash is not really my game. That's not really what I do. You know, I kind of just play. LaQuan, he's more into the talking and all that. So.
What's the best thing you heard from him?
I only played against him in the unnumbered game, which was 2 years ago. So I really can't remember that much. But you know, watching him play, you know, I can see him, you know, bobbing his head at the DB, getting in their face. You know, that's what he likes to do.
Besides your home field, where do you find the hardest place to play in the SEC?
The hardest place to play, probably South Carolina. Or, yeah, probably South Carolina.
Why's that?
Just their stadium is off the wall. I actually like playing in there, but I mean, as far it wasn't loud when we were on the field because we were on defense. But as far as when the offense was on the field, I can only imagine what it was like trying to communicate. It's just so loud all the time.
Seth Lewis, WDRZ from Baton Rouge. Just first, looking back at the LSU game last year, how much did you feel like it was the game that maybe slipped out of your grasp? And then for two, how eager are you to play them at Tiger Stadium this year?
Oh man, I'm ready to get back. I love playing at LSU. It's one of the best venues in college football, without a doubt. Speaking on last year's game, man, one play away. You know, I kind of, you know what I'm saying, got over it now. I don't really, you know what I'm saying, think about it too much now. But, you know, I'm excited to get there. I'm excited to get there and play. You know, it's going to be a great game. It's it always is. It's for LSU. And, you know, it's something to watch. Definitely want to watch.
Vernon, you already have done tremendous in your college career, a bunch of All-American lists. But what have you worked on? What do you feel like you can do this season to kind of take it to the next step for you?
It's becoming a leader. Becoming a guy that everybody can trust, the coaching staff, the players. You know, anything they need, anybody needs, I want people to understand that they can come to me. And that's, I think, is being a leader. And that's kind of what I'm working on, is getting to know everybody, you know, the whole team, the whole staff, and, you know, getting everybody's trust.
Vernon, this is the first time Florida has played Ole Miss since the year that, you know, it came down to that one play and went on to win the national championship. How old were you that year? I think it would have been 2008.
2008? It was like 14, 15, I guess.
Do you remember that speech that Tebow made after that game?
Oh yeah, I see it every day. It's actually outside of our facility. Yeah.
Could you envision like something like that happening again this year, I guess?
Well, it's definitely a little bit different scenario, you know. This team, well, first we don't have Tebow. And, you know, they're kind of coming off of, they had high expectations that year, and it was a highly matched up game, and Ole Miss wasn't that great then. So, I mean, it's kind of a different scenario, so I don't think it kind of applies that much.
That game, though, is right in the midst of like a gauntlet for y'all. You have Tennessee, Ole Miss, go to Missouri, go to LSU. Are you already looking at that part of the schedule and being like, oh, that's going to be tough?
Well, you know, just having experience of playing in the SEC, I learned really quick that it doesn't really matter who you play, every team is good. So, as far as looking ahead to the schedule, I mean, no matter who it is, they're going to be a good team. They're going to be physical. It's SEC. It's the best conference in football.
You kind of found yourself in the midst of a Twitter battle that didn't even mean to with LSU and the whole DBU thing.
Right.
Could this game put that argument to rest, at least for a while?
I mean, I guess it could. I mean, the winner, I guess, can claim DBU, no matter what it is, so, yeah.
How did that even come about?
Well, it's kind of a story, sort of. There was a guy that was making highlight videos for the Florida DBs. One of the LSU players, I guess he didn't like that very much. So he said just because he tweeted out, just because y'all have a bunch of videos doesn't make up DBU. And then that got the fans and stuff all excited, and I think that's where it really started. But as far as us arguing, I mean, especially to me, it's not really a big deal.
If you do something impressive in that game, you're in Tiger Stadium. You turn around and say something to him.
I can let him know something.
The offense last few years has been a little subpar. I know they're trying to change that. What differences have you seen so far on that side of the ball?
It looks a lot more simple, easy to grasp. They're still installing, it's a whole offense they have to get in a matter of, a few weeks now. So, they can't do too much because the guys have to learn. They have to learn the basics first, baby steps. So, I guess when fall camp comes around, that's when guys, if you either get with it or, you just can't play.
What are your thoughts on the crop top, man? I mean, I know you like rocking it sometimes, and is that a blow?
Oh, man. It's not really a blow, but it's kind of sad to think about that. Can't wear my jersey, can't show my back flat, but it's all good. We'll be all right.
Having success of last year's playoff, what are your thoughts on maybe expanding to more teams?
I think that'll be interesting. I think more the fact just because I like watching college football. I mean, being in it obviously is obviously the goal, but expanding more teams, I think that'd be great. I don't see any problem with that.